In this video, we're going to be talking specifically about Blue Edge Funding, a new prop firm. I'm going to be giving a complete overview and sharing everything transparently with you, the pros and the cons of Blue Edge Funding. I'm going to show what actually makes it different than other prop firms on the market and actually shed some light on some of the kind of gross practices that a lot of other prop firms do that cheat their clients out of money. Now, first things first, you can just go on over to blueedgefinancial.com and they have a funding section here where you can dive in and you can see all of the information as it regards to the funding program. We also have live chat support here on our website. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask us right there. Now, in this video, I want to focus on what actually makes Blue Edge Funding different than other prop firms. Number one is there's a very inexpensive challenge cost. Two, there's a lucrative profit split for the trader. Three, you're able to hold your trades through the weekend and news, which you're not able to do on a lot of other prop firms. Next, there's a 10% max daily drawdown option, which gives you even more room and more flexibility to be able to pass trading challenges. And there's a non-trailing daily stop loss or max loss limit, which is different than most other prop firms. I'm going to explain what that means in just a second. And on top of that, you're actually going to be trading a real live account, not a demo account. Unfortunately, a lot of other prop firms are kind of sketchy in the fact that they actually want you to fail their challenges. And what I mean by this is the way that they pay out their funded traders is they pay them out based off of the amount of people that have actually failed their challenge. All of those fees that the company racks up, they use those fees to pay out the funded traders when they actually make profit, which is the incentives are completely misaligned. So with Blue Edge Funding, we're completely transparent and we actually are going to do everything in our power to help you actually get funded because we don't make a lot of money when you actually pay the challenge fee. We make more money when you actually get funded and you're actually a profitable trader. So we want to make sure that you're doing everything possible to become a successful prop trader. Next things is that there's bi-monthly payouts, which means that you can get payouts every 2 weeks if you'd like to, and there's actually no minimum. So you can withdraw like $10 if you want to, which is also different than a lot of other prop firms that have like $1,000 profit that you need to incur in order to withdraw money from the account. And we have one of the most amazing scaling plans all the way up to $2 million. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what it actually takes to pass a challenge criteria. Then we'll talk about pricing and some of the other things that separate Blue Edge Funding. Number one, there's a 50, 100K or a 200K account. The challenge is broken into two phases. So there's a challenge phase and there's a verification phase, which is common across most other prop firms. It's not really unique. There's a 10% profit target, 5% max daily drawdown, and a 10% max loss. And you have to have a minimum of 10 trading days. You have 30 days to pass the challenge and you have 1 to 200 leverage. Okay, that's the first phase. Once you're able to complete the 10% profit target with no more than 10% max loss or 5% max daily drawdown, you move on to phase two, where you just have to do a 5% profit target with 5% max daily drawdown or 10% max loss overall. And again, there's the 10 minimum trading days. So this is pretty standard. You'll see this in a lot of other prop firms. What makes Blue Edge Funding a little bit different in this sense is the second option. And the way that the second option works is, again, you can do a $500,000, $100,000, or a $200,000 account. But on phase one, it's the same. You have to do a 10% profit target, but you do have the option to have a 10% max daily drawdown. That means that you can draw your account down all the way up to 10% instead of just 5%, which most prop firms have in a single day, this is huge. It allows you to trade different strategies. It allows you to go on a little losing streak, which happens in most good trading systems. And then obviously overall, you can't lose more than 10% of the account. Now, the one caveat here is that you have to have 50% profitable days. And the chances are, if you're going to pass a challenge, then chances are you're probably going to have 50% profitable days anyways. But if you want to use the 10% max daily drawdown, then you have to have 50% profitable days. Not a lot of other prop firms offer this. There are a couple that do, but not many. And I'll explain to you why we think Blue Edge is different in a couple other reasons, okay? Same thing, minimum 10 trading days, 30 days total, 1 to 200 leverage. Phase two, it's the same thing, 5% profit target, but a 10% max daily drawdown again, which is insane. You only have to do 5% profit and you can have 10% drawdown overall on your account or in a day on your account, okay? Same thing, 50% profitable days that you have to have if you want to do the 10% max daily drawdown option. This is option number two, okay? minimum of 10 trading days, and you have 60 total days to pass the second phase. Okay, so the main thing here is the 10% max daily drawdown, which is really cool. Now, the next thing that makes Blue Edge Funding different than other prop firms is this non-trailing daily loss or max loss limit. Let's say that, for example, you're trading a $200,000 account, and this is on a normal prop firm, and you have about $190,000 that you can draw your account down, right? So you can draw it down. 5% of $200,000 would be $10,000. That's $190K, right? Now, the problem is when you move on up to say $205,000, meaning that you profited, you went from 200K to 205K profit. Well, now you still only have the same amount of drawdown restriction, meaning that you can only draw your account down $10,000, even though you've made an extra $5,000 on the account. So it becomes challenging for you to keep your account. And I think a lot of other prop firms actually want you to not keep the account because they're actually making money selling the fees versus actually getting you funding. And that's the sad reality behind most other prop firms. Now, when you grow the account to 220K, the point where you blow your account's at 209K. So it follows you. So you never actually really get that extra breathing room with trading your funded account, which sucks. So here's the way that Blue Edge Funding is actually different. So let's say you have a 200K account, and let's say that you make $5,000 profit. So you now have $205,000 account. Well, this trailing stop loss doesn't move, which is really cool. Even if you have a $220,000 account, meaning you made $20,000 profits, you still have this $30,000 buffer or cushion where you could draw your account all the way back down to 190K. So this is going to allow you to keep your account a lot longer because we don't want you to just get funded. We actually want you to keep your account and actually, continue to make profits because in all transparency, this is when we're going to make the money as well. Okay. So this is really, really cool. This is, again, on the top, this is Blue Edge Funding. And on the bottom, this is most other prop firms, which basically want you to fail your account, okay? So with that being said, the next thing that's different is the scaling plans. So here's how the Blue Edge Funding scaling plan works. Let's say you start with a $50,000 account. If you grow the account by 10%, we double your account to $100,000. If you grow the account by another 10%, we double your account again to $200,000. If you do another 10%, we'll double your account to $400,000. If you do another 10%, we'll grow it to $1 million, or we'll fund it to $1 million. If you do another 10%, we'll fund it to $1.5 million, and another 10%, we'll fund it all the way up to $2 million. Now, just like if you were to take the $200,000 account, let's say that you just do $200,000 account, you pass it, you get funded. When you do 10% profit, we're going to fund you with $400,000. You do another 10% profit, and now you have $1 million account. Literally, all you had to do was 10% profit twice, and now you have $1 million account. Okay, imagine how life-changing that could be trading $1 million account, right? 10% again, 1.5, another 10%, $2 million. Okay, so that's how the scaling plan works. Now, the cool part about this is we do have member pricing and we have non-member pricing. So let me explain the pricing and why this is one of the most affordable prop firms that you could possibly take. So the first is a basic challenge, and then we also have a pro challenge. Basically, it's a 70-30% split. So meaning that you take 70% of the profits, we take 30% of the profits, okay? A $50,000 challenge is going to cost $447. $100,000 challenge costs $647. And a $200,000 challenge costs $947, which in itself is cheaper than most other prop firms on the market. And we also have a pro challenge where it's an 80-20 split. You keep 80% of the profits, we keep 20. $50,000 challenge is $647. $100,000 challenge is $847. And a $200,000 challenge is $1,147. The cool part about this is that for all Blue Edge Financial members, we also have member pricing, which is insane. We basically knock off $150 off of all challenges and you get special member pricing. Okay, you can become a member at blueedgefinancial.com if you'd like to. That's totally optional. Now that makes a 50K challenge only $297. Nobody in the industry is offering that. Okay, $100,000 challenge is only $497, cheapest in the industry. $200,000 challenge is only $797. Again, there's nobody else out there that's providing challenges at this cheap. And again, for the pro challenges, these are the prices. 50K is $497. The 100K challenge is $697, and the 200K is only $997. Again, cheaper than anybody else in the market. We really don't make very much money off these challenge fees. because we want to incentivize and have our interest aligned to help you become successful prop traders and we make money on the funded accounts. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's go back and let's take a look at this. So the other cool thing that I love about Blue Edge funding is the fact that we're not only going to provide you some of the best challenges and some of the best rules for passing the challenge, but also on top of that, when you sign up, you're going to get a couple additional bonuses for free. So anybody that signs up with any of the challenge plans, you're going to get these bonuses. So bonus number 1 is called the VRT cheat sheet. It's the volume reaction trading cheat sheet. This was essentially a huge breakthrough. This was put together by a trading partner of ours that's actually been a 10-time funded professional prop trader. He's one of the best Forex traders that I know of. And basically, he put together this little cheat sheet, which is his strategy. So instead of having to try to predict the market, which is what most trading strategies do, and it's almost impossible to predict the market because it's totally random. Instead, what volume reaction trading does, instead of trying to predict, you actually react to the market. So you don't have to predict the market. So you'll get this. The second thing is you're going to get Yuya's, our prop trading friend that I was just telling you about, his top 3 tips for passing a challenge, which he's passed 10 different challenges, okay, to give you an idea. The next thing is you're going to get our Blue Edge funding blueprint. So this is going to walk you through everything that you need to do in order to actually become a funded trader. And not only that, how to trade a funded account once you actually get funded, which is incredible. Again, this is just showing us that our interests are aligned. We want to help you become a funded trader. Okay, and the last thing you're going to get is a program called Smart Money Secrets. This is a $397 value, again, that you're going to get for free when you sign up for any of the Blue Edge funding challenges. And what happened here was basically I sat down and I interviewed a 10-year bank trading veteran. He worked on both the retail side of the Forex market as well as the bank or the institutional side of the Forex market. And he talks about the differences between the two and how you can start trading and aligning yourself with the smart money. So with that being said, if you're looking for the best, cheapest, most transparent, and most helpful prop firm that's on the market, then go on over to blueedgefinancial.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to chat us there.